Click. Transition. Hello! Did I actually click live? Yes. Phone. Quiet. Good phone. Alright. How are you doing, Mama?
Okay.
That's good.
Sorry, that's not much of...
Say again.
Ah, there it came up on the phone. I said, yeah, that wasn't much of a response, was it?
I mean, it's no worries. I mean, I just asked how you were, so okay, it's fine. But yeah, I'm doing alright as well. I haven't been doing anything super exciting since last time, although I have been looking up headphones. So I was trying to get a small little laptop and some wired headphones I can plug into it to take with me to work. That way, when I'm in between things that I have to work on for work, I can do other things, which would be a lot easier to do on my laptop rather than on a phone, which
Yep.
I am allowed to do at my job. So I have a really light caseload, which is really nice. So yeah. Aside from that, I think I'm ready to do some Sudoku, unless you have something you want to share.
Nope, I'm good with doing Sudoku.
Alright, then. I don't think we were in the middle of any puzzles last time, so the first puzzle we're going to do is Black Sheep by Leonhard Cole. I'm going to pronounce the last part of it Lorting, but I don't know if the double dots is called an umlaut, right? Or is that something else?
I think so.
Double dot above a letter. Yeah, umlaut. In which a back vowel becomes a front vowel? I don't know. I'm just gonna say Cole Lorting. Hopefully that's not too inaccurate. Place the digits 1 to 5 twice in each row, column, and box, except for one digit, which is the black sheep. It is only placed once in every row, column, and box. Digits in a cage sum to the clue given in the top left corner. Digits may repeat once in a cage. Adjacent digits on a gray Austrian whisper line must have a difference of at least 3. On a blue region sum line, digits have an equal sum within each box or region it passes through. Different lines may have different region sums. Interesting. So, we have very interesting rules. So, normally we would be doing 1 through 9. But in this case, we got 1 through 5, and we are going to do those all twice, except for one digit, which is going to be the black sheep, which is only repeated once. In this version, it would be the 5, but we don't know what that is to start out. Cages. This might be something like a pair of 4s, a pair of 1s, and a 2, because digits are allowed to repeat once within a cage. And then region sum lines. So let's say this was a 4, then I could put 2 2s there to make that sum to 4. And then these gray lines were the Austrian whisper. So if I place a 1, then plus 3 would be 4 or 5, and then if I were to follow that with a 4, it would have to be followed by a 1. So that would look like that. With that, I think I've explained all the rules. Did I miss any of them?
I think you got them all.
Alright, then let's hit restart so we have an accurate time and begin puzzling.
Well, I noticed right off in row 5, there's an equal sum. Oh, excuse me, row 6. I don't know my numbers today. There is an equal sum line that is a 3 and a 1 that has to be 6 is the max it can be. But I guess it could be less than that. It could actually be 4. A 1, 1, and a 2.
Yeah. Because
Oh,
our
right. It can't
maximum
be
value
6.
is 5.
It's 5.
And I think this is going to have the same problem.
Right. So it's going to have to be like 1, 1, 2, and 2, 2, 1. Or it could be 1, 1, 3 for the 5.
Mm-hmm. I think the this Austrian whisper line is going to be really interesting because I can't put a 3 on it. Because -3 is 0, +3 is 6, numbers I can't have.
Right.
So they're going to alternate. Let's say these are 1, 2, and then these would be 4, 5. Well, I can put a 4 in the middle, which would be a pair of 1s. But it just still has to look like that. Yeah. Purple. Now, the purples up here don't relate to the purples and greens down there. They're just indicating differences along that one line itself.
Right.
Oh, and I guess I just realized that these don't have to be different. Those could be a pair of 5s.
Well,
I don't think they could be a pair of 4s, though.
They can't be a pair of 4s, because the only way to do 4 is going to be 1, 1, 2.
Okay, let's say this one over here was a 4. 1, 1, 2. How do I make this work? Well, it could be a 2 and a 3. Because I've already run out of digits. But I still need at least one.
Work.
So this is automatically a 5. So can this be a 4? 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 is 3, so I would need another 2.
Yeah, it can't be 1, 2, 2 or 1, 1, 3.
So this is also going to be 5?
Yeah, one of them's going to be 1, 2, 2, and the other's going to be 1, 1, 3. Which that one at the top is going to have to be a 1.
Because if it was a 2...
there are 3 1s between the two possibilities.
Right.
2, 2, 1 and 1, 1, 3.
So this has both 1s and this has no 1s. Or this has a 1 here and a 1 there and 1 over there.
Right. In either case, both 2s are going to be used up.
Well, these have to be 4 and 4.
Well, unless 4 is the black sheep.
Right.
Because there's right now we've got 2 5s in that row, 2 1s in that row.
So it's 2, 3, or 4. That is the black sheep.
Well, no, there's going to be 2 2s because one of the 5s is 1, 2, 2. And the
Right.
other one is going to be 1, 2, 3.
So it's 3 or 4.
Right. Now, you can't have 3 on the whisper line.
Okay, so this is a 4. That is a 1. This is another 4, and that is a 1. Because we filled the box. So this ends up...
Right.
It has to be a 4, so 3 ends up being our black sheep.
Right. So what's left in box 5 are 2 2s and a 3. Now, they're in box 4. The bottom straight line of the Austrian whisper line cannot have a 1 on it.
Oh, so this would be 2 and 5 then. Because one of them has to be from 1 and 2.
Right.
And the other from 4 and 5. But if it can't have a 1, then 2, and 2 plus 3 is 5. So then this can't be 2, 2, 1. So this is, and this is 1, 3.
In fact, there can't be a 1 on that whisper line at all.
Right, because we just put 2 1s here.
Right.
So then this is our pair of 4s, and 2 5. Because a 4 would have to be next to a 1.
4, right, row 4 has... Well, I was going to say, it has both 5. No, it doesn't. Never mind.
Oh, ow. This has to be 2, because if it was 3, those would both be 2, and then those would both be 5, but they can't be.
Right, right.
So this is a 2, and that's a 2, 3.
Okay, so we've got both 2s and the 3. 1 5. We need a 1 4 and a 5. So that sums to 10.
Right.
So the vertical of that is 2
pair
5s.
Of 5s. This could still be 4, and that could still be 4. That one. Oh, either these are both 4 or these are both 4, but they're gonna have to be 4 and 1. If those are both 4s, then you got 1 1. If those are both 4s, then you have 1 1. That's a 1. You could have 4 or 5.
Yeah,
But
box 3 needs
3?
both 2s. Yeah, needs 2 2s and a 3. Well, you can't have 2 2s in the vertical. So it's got to be on the...
Oh, that makes that a pair of 1s then.
Mm-hmm.
And now this has to be high, so that's 1 1, 4 and 4. Start coloring. But this is now 1 2, 4 5, 1 2, and 4 5. 2 4s make that a 1.
Column 6 already has 2 1s in it.
That makes it a 2 and a 5. 2 5s make that a 4.
So we need a 2 and a 3. Column 7 has 2 2s in it.
1. The sum of the box is 15 plus 15 minus 3, which is going to be 30 minus 3, which is 27.
Right, 27.
And if we subtract 12,
we get 15.
That goes back to 15. That's 7. So this sums to 8, which is going to have to be 5 and 3. Um, 1, 2, and 4.
You can't have one. There's already 2 1s in column 5, which I guess you already see that.
This cannot both be 4, because then you'd have.
And they can't both be 2,
wait.
so it's got to be a 2 and a 4.
Oh, right. It can't be 2 4s because of the 4 there, and it can't be 2 2s because of the 2 here. I was trying to do something with this side of things. So that's a 2 and a 4, like you said. So that's 6.
And that's
a 4
all
and 2 1s. A 4 and a pair of 1s.
Right, so the 2s come out of that. Yeah.
If this is a 1, this has to be a 5. But if this is a 4, that has to be a 1.
Column 9 has both 5s, both 4s, and the 3. So that's 2 1s. Or no, a 1 and 2 2s.
So that's all the 1s and 2s. Our 3s over here, so these have to be 4 and 5. If this ends up being a 4, then you've got 1 and 1 and 4. So then you'd have to put a 2 over here and a 5. But that's fine. That would be 4, that would be 2, and this would end up being 3. Actually, where can I even put 3 in this row? None of that's 3. You can't put it on the Austrian whisper line, so that's a 3. So that's not, that's a 1. Can't do any more 1s. That one's not a 4. And it isn't a 3.
All right, column 4, up there in box 2. We need a 5 in that column. We need a 4 in that column. The 3 if it's not in the box below it. Looks like it's going to be 2, 4, 5 or 3, 4, 5. Which that doesn't really help because I guess we already knew that. But it's going to be one of each.
Okay.
So it's going to be either 10. It's going to be either 9 or 10 for that sum.
Well, it needs a 4 and a 5, and either
Right.
2 or 3.
Right.
So that would be 11 or 12.
Oh. Sorry, I misadded. I was adding the 2 and the 3 with either the 4 or the 5 instead of the 4 and the 5 with the 2 words. The horizontal needs 2 4s and a 5, but they don't have to be on the same.
Yeah.
Well, if the 2 4s are on in box 1, that's 8. And then with that third spot in box 1, it's either 2 or 5, which would make it either 10 or 13.
So it can't be
But
both
it has
4s?
to be 11 or 12. It can't be both 4s.
So this is a 4 then?
Yes, I think so.
Because the only way...
Okay, so then that's going to be in box 1, it's going to be a 4 and a 5.
And then either 2 or 3?
The same was that, yeah. Plus, it's going to sum to 9. So you can't have you can't have 4 and 5 both in that box.
If I put a 5, then it's going to have to be 1, 1, and 2. Right.
You can't have 2. There's no way to put 2 1s.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, because they would have to be.
So that's going to put the 5 on the outside, the 4 on the inside, and a 2 here. And we need to make 3.
Yeah, which would be 1 and 2. Okay, now row 3 we can finish. That's a 3.
2.
And that has to be a 1 2 pair, so 2 comes out.
3 and 5, 2 and 1, so this last one's a 4 here.
Right, so it's going to be 2 and 5 in box 2 up there on the top row.
Right.
Because the 3 has to.
So I still need a 1, I still need a 3.
And a 5.
And a 5.
And the 3 can't be in column 3 because it's.
Three and 4 are out. I guess this could be a pair of 1s, a 2 and a 5.
Well, we need 2 5s in that column.
Oh, right, because there's a 1. So only one of these is 1, but they could both be 5, and a 2 and a 1, or a 1 and a 2. But I could also make one of those a 1, that a 2, and that a 5, so lots of options there. If this is a 4, that would be the other 4, and that would be 2. And that would have to be 2 and 5. But I could make this a 4 and a 1. That would make that a 5 and a 2. A 4 and a 2. If I make this a 4, that couldn't
Alright,
be a 4. It would have. Go ahead.
column 1.
Yeah.
Column 1 is going to have 2 5s already.
Yeah.
Because on the width, so the 5 comes out of the top. So that 1, 2, and 4. Well, it can't be. Yeah, the 5 comes out of the first cell of the puzzle. Because we already
Right.
have 2 5s in column 1.
If this is a 4, that would be a pair of 1s. And that would be 5 and 1. But that would be a 1, and that would be a 1, and that would break. So this isn't a 4. That is. That makes that a 1. And we get 4 or 5. So this isn't a 4.
Or a 5, because there's a 5, 2
Right.
5s in the column already.
Well, where can I put a 2?
Well,
I know one of
that
those
one
is a
3
2.
pair, the 1 3 pair, there can only be 1 3. So the other one has to be a 1.
Right.
Which gives us 2 1s in the column.
So then these 3 are 10. Which I think has options there.
Yeah.
One and 1 makes 4.
Oh, in row 9, the 4 5 pair, one has to be a 4, the other has to be a 5. Because
Right.
they can't both be 4 and they can't both be 5. So that's.
And that makes that a 5 and a 4. 4s are out.
And you can't have that in column 2. In box 7, those can't both be 5 because there's the 5 on the whisper line in box 4.
So that makes this a 5.
That's a 5, yeah.
Oh, I've got a pair of 1s here. So that's 2 and 5. So that's a 1.
And that's 2 5s in the box.
I like how we started with this region sum line and it's still not solved. That's a 1-3 pair. That's a 2-5. That's a 2-5. Oh, 2 5s makes a 2, makes a 5, makes a 1, makes a 2. 4, not a 5, also not a 3. So that's a 4, that's a 3, that's a 5. 4 and 5.
Okay, the 12 cage. Those now the last two now sum to 8.
So that has to be 3 and 5. A 5 here, 2, 2, 1, 3, 1.
It's a 5 and a 2 for the from box 1 to box 2. The equal sum line. It's 5, 4, 2.
Oh,
It sums to
so
11.
5, 2, 2, no,
Nope.
5 and 3. Then 2 and 3. Yay, we did it. That was interesting.
Good thing nobody joined in because this is the first I've looked at my phone the entire. It's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to keep an eye on that.
Hmm.
I like that. That was kind of fun.
Yeah. So I think that's this one. Certainly looks like this puzzle. Row 8, 4, 5, 1, 1, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2. Submit. Congratulations. This is like an average puzzle. Yeah, not gonna deliberate on that one too much. So, here we go. Alright, next puzzle we're gonna take on is Lone Hunt by Black Doom. Normal
It's
Sudoku
Lone
rule.
Hut. I thought you said hunt. Maybe you didn't say hut.
I might have messed up. Lone Hut by Black Doom. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Each purple line contains a set of consecutive non-repeating digits. Each gold Nabner line contains a set of non-repeating digits, and no two digits anywhere on such a line can be consecutive. Digits separated by a V must sum to 5. So, on a Renban, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4 in some order. It doesn't have to be like that. It could be 3, 4, and 2 like that. That would also be valid. But if I try to do that on the Nabner line, I would have to go 1, 4, 6, and 9 as an example, right? That's not the only way that this works, but it's one way that it could work, so that they don't connect. And then again, this could be the 4 and that the 9, or maybe the 9's not a 9, it's an 8. I just couldn't put, if there's a 6 on it, I couldn't put 5 or 7 to go with that. And then the V sums to 5, so that might be 1 and 4, or maybe it's 2 and 3. Other than that, no other rules. So let us begin.
Well, right there in the middle, that little lone hut. There's gonna have to be odds in the gold.
Right. 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Because it is.
And the bottom half of the V.
5, 7, and 9 all come off. And we put a 2 and a 4 above it. 2, 4, 6, 8. So we know that those two are a pair of odd digits. We need an even digit to connect.
Well, yeah.
Well, we know that this isn't 1 and 3, because that would break the Nabner line, so this isn't 2 connecting 1 and 3.
Right.
Now, if this was a 4, that would be 2
A
and
1.
3.
But if it's a 4 is going to be surrounded by 3 and 5
And
of
would put a
what's
3 up
there.
here. So 3 and 4 come off.
Well, would put a 1 up there.
No, it would be 2 and 3. If this is a 4, that would be 2, 3.
Right, but it would break it because on the other side, there would have to be a 3 on one of those, which is going to be on the Nabner, which is going to take the 3 out, which would make that a 1 and 4, which also breaks it.
Right.
So 7 has to be on the gold line.
Right, because it connects either 6 to 5 or 8 to 9. Well, that's not really how 7 operates, but yeah.
Right, yeah, but I
something
understand.
similar to that. Well, we know we have 4 odds, so this is our 5th odd, and that makes this even. 2, 4, 6, 8. And this is an odd and 2 evens. Well, our odd cannot be 7. 1, 3,
Or 9.
5. Right, and it can't be 1 either.
It can't be 1.
2, 4,
Right.
or 6. Well, that means we have to have a
That
1 in
means,
this box, so this is the 3.
right. Yeah.
Oh, so
2 and
the
3 have to
3,
be on, and the 2.
yeah. Because this has to be 1, 5, 7, and 9, so the 3's the odd down here. And then same with the 2, because it's removed from those 3. But we don't know whether or not this is 7 and 9 with an 8 in the middle, or 5 and 7 with a 6 in the middle. Either way will be just fine. Well, this isn't 1 or 3, so it's 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, or 9. There's a lot of digits, so it's not worth considering.
Well, column 5 needs 1 and 5, 7, 9.
Because we've got all
Not
of the
very
even
helpful, but
digits and a 3. Well, I kind of hope this is 6 or 8, because that would be most restrictive. Because if it's an odd or a 4, it's not going to be that useful. Although at least a 4 takes out 5. An odd would just take out that other odd.
Okay,
But I guess...
row 6 has 2 Nabners.
Right.
And we have left 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 7 and 9 are going to be on one, and 6 and 8 are going to be on the other. Well, I don't suppose, not necessarily, though, because I guess you could have... No, they'd have to be that way. Right?
5, 7, 9, 1, 6, and 8. I know that 8, if I put an 8 over here, that puts 7 and 9 over here. So 7 and 9 are forced to be together.
Alright.
Which forces 6 and 8 to be together. So it is 1, 6, 8, and 5, 7, 9.
Okay, the Nabner line and the Renban over there between 4 and 7, they share a digit.
Mm-hmm.
So it can't be 9. Because 7 and 9 are together. It would have to be 9, 8, 7, 6 if it's a 9. So up there in the top right corner of it, where they join, that can't be a 9.
If it was a 9, you're saying...
The Renban would have to be 9, 8, 7, 6. And since the Nabner has to share 7 and 9... Oh, yeah, never mind. I'm not thinking right.
No, you're right, because I'd have to put a 7 here, but then that removes the 6. So you're right. So this can't be a 9.
Well, but the 6 could be underneath the 7 and not actually touching.
Well, it can't be on the Nabner line at all.
Oh, right. Right. Okay. Good, I was thinking correctly.
A 1 would put 2, 3, or 4 here. 2 would automatically be off. 1 pairs with 6 and 8, so 1 is fine. One, 5. Wait. 5, 7, and 9. And 1, 6, 8.
Just the one on the left looks more helpful just because the Renban is longer. They're both 4.
Uh-huh. Now we know that those 3 are fixed, so what can this one be here? 1, 6, 8 are all out automatically. 2, 5, 7, and 9. So that would have to be 3 or 4. And then in the uppercase version, 5, 7, 9, and then so is 4, 6, and 8. Yeah, because 4, 6, and 8, 5, 7, and 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, yeah. So this has to be 1, 2, or 3.
Or 4.
3, 4, 5, 6. So you could do 3 and 5. But 3, 4, 5, 6, you can't get to 7. So 7's automatically out. One,
Well,
two,
and on the
three,
center
4.
one,
Can't have a 1. Say again.
if the pencil mark in the center, if
Uh-huh.
that's 4, which is the highest it can be,
You can't get to 8.
it can't reach 8. And 6, 5, 4, 3. But it can be the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Yeah. Now we get the same 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah. Well, if this was a 1, it would have to pair with 2 and 3. But that would break the superscript over here. Except that I'm not trying to get to the superscript over there. So let's say this was 1. Then this would be 2, 3, and 4. So that would have to be 1. But then I'd have to also
But
do 2
then,
and 3. So this can't be a 1. So, then I would have to have 5 in here to connect 3 or 4 to 6. 4, 5, 6, 7, or 3, 4, 5, 6. But I know 5 is in here as a lower digit. So then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. But I also know that 4 is down here. So this would have to be 1, 2, 3. So then this would be a 4, 5, 7, 6. Which would lead to a 9 here. And I think 6, 8.
but on the superscript
Yeah.
going across, if that's a 2,
Uh-huh.
it has to be
3 and
2, 3,
4.
4, and 5. Right. And that takes out the 3, 4 for the superscript on the other one.
So we know that this would be 3. So then this couldn't be a 3. It would have to be a 4. But also we know that we have to have a 4 here to connect 3 and 5. So it can't be superscript. So that's nice. 1, 8, and 6. And these two can't be 4. 9, 7, 5 are all fine. So I don't think anything's actually removed from here, because I could do 2, 4, 7, and 9 and be just fine. So everything's possible there. Although I guess 7 gets taken out of the middle. Because there's nothing that's forced to be next to itself, or next to something that's not allowed. 5, 7, and 9. One, 3, 6, and 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. I guess if I skipped 6 or 8, can I skip either of 6 and 8? Well, 1, 2, 3, and 4, there's no way to get 3 digits from that. So 6 and 8 is going to be required to be on here. So 6 and 8 comes off of this. Same with 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to have 7 and 9 on there. And now because of the 4 being removed from here, I'm going to have 4, 7, and 9. So that takes off 5 and 3, and then suddenly I've got a quad. So this is 3 and 5. I'm going to have 4, and either 2 or 6.
And the 4 being there takes out the 4 below it in box 4.
Right. Whatever this digit is going to be forced into here, along with 6 and 8. But I don't know if that leads to anything. If this was a 1, you'd have 2 and 3 out here, and that would be a 1, and this would have to be 4, 6, 8. Which is fine. Five, 6, 3, or 5, excuse me, 6, 5, 4, 3. So that's the largest this can be. Could these be consecutive? They can't be 1 and 2, because I can't put 3 and 4 over here. And they can't be 3 and 4 for the same reason, but they could be 2 and 3, and 1 and 4 are separate enough. it can't be 1, 4 for the same reason, because that would force 2 and 3 together on here. So this is 1, 3, 2, 4, or 2, 3. But you couldn't do 6 and 5, because that would be 3 and 4, which would place 1 and 2 here. So 6 comes off of this. Well, I couldn't put 1 out here, because it would have to be paired with 2 and 3, which would break this one.
Right.
So if 1 is on this Renban, it has to be up here.
And the 2 and 3 have to be in box 3.
Right.
Which puts 2, 3 on the Renban in box 6.
Not
Because
necessarily.
well, it's either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 4, 5, right? On that for that Renban?
Yeah. But if 2 and 3 are
Okay.
here,
They can't be on 2 and 3 have to be on that Renban because it's either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 2, 3,
right.
4, 5, which would push the 2, 3 down there, which would mean that that's 1 on the that end of the Renban there, but it's also over there.
So that means I can't put 1 on this at all, because 2
No.
and 3 would break there.
Right.
So 1 is removed from everything, 2 and 3 is removed from there, and I can't put 2 in this section, because it would have to pair with a 3, which would have the same result. So now our minimum is 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 5, 6, and 7 are requirements. But that really only matters for these two. 5, 6, and 7 is off of those because it sees this entire line.
Mm-hmm.
But they could be an 8, 9 pair, or, well, they can't be 2 and 3, for the same reason you couldn't put both 2 and 3 on this thing.
Right.
So they're 8, 9, or 3, 4, or 1, 2. if this was 3 and 4... Actually, hold on. This has to have 2, 3, and 4 on it, right?
Right.
Because it's 1 through 5, so it's the end 1 or 5 that's a question. So this is
Right.
not
So if
2, 3, or 4, because it sees
right.
this whole group. So then, if this is a 1, it would pair with a 2. So this is... Oh. Well, this could be a 1, and then this would be 2 through 5, and this would have to be 2 and 4, and 3 and 5. So that would make that 1, that 3. 2 and 5 would make that 1 and 2. Oh, wait a second. No, that would be 3 and 5.
You need to
And
put
that's...
superscript so you can keep it straight because I keep losing it in my head.
Okay. 1, 2. So then this would have to be 2 and 4. Because it cannot
Right.
be 3 or 2 and 3.
Right.
And it cannot
and
be
that
3
has
and
to be
4.
3 and 5 in the vertical. And there.
And now this one's a 1. This one's a 3. That's a 2. And then we get 1, 3, 6, and 8.
And the 1, 3 can't be on
3,
the right.
1, 6, 8. Oh, what about this one? We know that 3, 4, 9, and 8 is off of that one. That's not a 3. But now 3 is out.
In that
5 is out of
vertical.
this.
Right. Well, and now
It's 4 or 9 that's allowed.
right. It's either 4 through 8 or 5 through 9.
Yeah. I don't know if that's helpful. Because I guess it's these two that end up here, not necessarily, because, I mean, you're
Well,
going to have a 5 as one of those.
right, in superscript, the Nabner in box 3, it sees 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so it just can't be 6 and 7.
Hmm.
So 6.
Yeah, those aren't restricted at all. And I don't know. I mean, we know that one of those is a 5. But we don't know about the rest of it. Alright, well, proof of concept, that worked.
Right.
So, gotta move on to something else, I think.
All right, the column 1 in the Nabner in box 1. It can have one of one or two. And the rest is 6, 7, 8, 9.
Well,
but then you've got that little sticking out one that can be lots of things.
Yeah. But we do know that this is 1 of 1 and 2, 1 of 6 and 7, and 1 of 8 and 9. So I couldn't put 1, 2, 6, 7, or 8, 9 on there. This would have to be 3, 4, or 5. Because if I put a 9 on here, 8 and 9 would come off of there, and then 1 of 1 and 2, and 1 of 6 and 7, and I wouldn't be able to fill in the third digit.
Right.
And the same if I put 1 or 2, or 6 or 7. So that is 3, 4, or 5.
All right. If we look at box 5, the Ren band is either 5, 6, 7 or 6, 7, 8.
Uh-huh.
Or no, excuse me, 7, 8, 9.
Uh-huh.
If it's 7, 8, 9, that affects a lot of stuff. Definitely, because it affects the Nabner on the left.
It
Because
makes
that
that
would be 2
2,
and 4. That's
and
4.
7,
And
9.
7, 9 at the top. So
Oh, I guess we know 1 is there, so that comes off of those.
all right, because if the 9 is in box 5, in box 4, it's 2 and 4. So on the Nabner across 2, 4, and 9 all come off, or 2, 4, and 8 all come off of there.
Well, that would make that 5 and 3. And 2, 4, and 8.
And 8's going to have to be on the Nabner, but that doesn't matter because it's. But it can't be 2. Because 2 sees 1 and is next to 2 and 1 and 3, the Nabner. And 1 or 3 has to be on there.
Right.
So that would have to be 4 and 8 and 1 and 6 on the bottom, because 4 would be next to 3.
That would be 1, 2, and 3. Well, that would be 8 and 9. We have a 1 there, taking it off of that. I know that this is 4.
Okay, well, if that's 8 and 9, then 8 and 9 comes off of that red band that you just
7,
highlighted.
6, 5, 4, 3.
So 3 has to be in that column.
That would have to be 4. Where do I put 2 in this box?
Okay, well, 3 and 6 are going to have to be on. Oh.
Because I can't put it on this red band at all.
Right. And it's already on the other red band. And it sees the yellow. So that doesn't work.
So that was starting with this as 8.
It's 8, right.
So 6, 8, 9, 6, 8.
The 5, 7 affects the 3, 5 over to the left.
3, 5. Nine. Well, I still know 4 is here, so that's not a 4. Could have been removed sooner, but forgot it. If this is 1, this has to be 2. Or if I put a 2 here, that would have to be 2 and 1. If, if this is 1, you couldn't put 2 on here. If this was 1, you couldn't put 2 on here. It would have to go up here. And so, if this is 1, that would make this 3 and 4. But I already know I have a 3 or a 4 over here. because it's 6 and 8, 3 or 4, 1 or 2. I can't put 3 or 4 here, because then I'd have to put both 1 and 2 over here, which isn't allowed.
Right.
So this cannot be a 1. And now this cannot be 2, 3. So it's either 1, 3 or 2, 4. And if it's 1, 3, you can't do 1, 2. And if it's 2, 4, you can do 3, 5 and still be 1, 2.
No.
No?
If it's 3, 4. Oh, 3, 4 there? I thought it was 3, 4 there.
Yeah, 3. No, wait. If this is 1 and 2, that's automatically, excuse me. If this is 1 and 3, then this is automatically 8, 9.
Right.
If it's not 8, 9, then it's 2, 4. Then I get
All
3 and 5 as options, but then that can still be 1, 2.
Right, okay.
But three has to be within this group. Because if this is a 2, that's 1, 3. And if this is a 3, then this is 2, 4. But this cannot be 1 and 4, because you can't do 2 and 3. It has to be 1 from 1 and 2, and 1 from 3 and 4, but not 1, 4. So it has to be 1 from 1 and 2, 1 from 2 and 3, and 1 from 3 and 4. But the important part there is that it forces 1 from 2 or 3, which pairs with the 2 or 3 here. So 2 and 3 are not allowed there. Although I don't think that's helpful. One, 3, or 2, 4.
If the two cell ren band in box 3 is 8, 9, then 3 has to be on the other ren band that goes into box 2. Because 7 is the highest it can be. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
I think something we overlooked, that we saw with like this ren band, is that this whole ren band here sees both of those. And we know that this has 2, 3, and 4 on it. It's just the 1 or the 5 that's the question mark. Well, 2, 3, and 4 can't go here, so this is a 6. And you can't put 2 or 4 on this one. And then you can't put 4 here, because it has the same problem. It sees all of that.
Right.
If this was 8, 9, then we're not... Well, a 3 would end up here.
Right.
Okay, so 8 and 9 would force a 3.
And that puts 3 in column 9. On the Renban in box 6.
Right, it would have to be there. So that would be a 2 and a 3. And 3 has to pair with 1.
Which makes that an 8 under the 6.
8, and then 2 or 4. So the 4 ends up here. Because this has to be 2 and 4 now.
Five ends up, or the 1 ends up on the nabner.
Right. Oh, but that would break this.
Right.
And that was starting with this being 8 and 9. So that forces this to be a 1 then, doesn't it?
I believe so.
So now this is 2 through 5. So 5 comes
Right.
off of that. So that's not a 2. This being 2 or 4, if this was a 3, it can't pair with 2, it would break this. And it can't pair with 4, that would put both 1 and 2 on the Nabner line. So that's not a 3, that's 2 and 4. So that's 5 and 3.
Okay, that 2-4 pair fixes the Renban in box 9.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's the 4 or the 9 that's a question mark.
Right. But 5 has to be on that Renban.
Right. So that places a 3. Takes 2 off of this one.
And 4 has to be on the Renban in box 3 because that's the only place to put a 4 in box 3.
So 4 comes off of that.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 comes off of that Renban.
So then we get 9 for sure, 8 comes off.
So 8's on the Renban in box 3. So it comes off from... So 4 and 8 and either 6 or 7. So whichever one is there, the other one is up there.
That's not really helpful. Although, where can I put a 1 in here? Can't go along the top. It can't go on the Renban. 2 and 3 aren't 1, and you can't put 1 on next to the 2 on the Nabner line, so that's 9 and 1.
Right. Where does 4 go in box 2?
It's not
It
here.
can't go on. It can't go on the 2 cell Renban.
Right,
Because
3 and 5.
It's
it
not
can't
1.
go on here. It's not 1. I mean, it could technically go here as long as this is a 7.
Right.
It has to be 1 because you've got 6 or 7 and 8 or 9, so then the last is 1, so that's 8, 1 there.
Oh, and the 8. So it. Yeah, and the 9 has to be at the top. Yeah.
2, I
What's
think.
missing? Yeah. Oh, so. Yeah.
But 6, 7, 8, 9. It has to be one of 6 and 8, which is going to pair with that 6 or 8. 6 and 8, 9 and 1 are out. Although that's not particularly helpful. It can't be 5, but it's also not 1, 2, or 3, and it can't be 6 or 8. Nine has to be over there, so either this is 8, 9, or that's 9. But if that's 8, 9, that can still be 4 or 7. If that's a 9, that can be 8. And get 6, 7. Be 5. And 7. Wait. If this was 6 and 7, that would break these two.
Right.
5, 6, 7, and I would need another. So this can't be 6 and 7. It has to be an 8. 6 and 8. If this was a 7, you've got 8 and 9, 5 and 6, 4. And if that's a 4, that's a 7. You've got 5, 6 pair. Where's 5 in this box? Because of this 5 here, it's not there, and it's not either of those two. And we determined that that is a 3, because the 5's up here, which was forced onto this, and this 5 took it out. So 5 has to be one of these two, placing 7 and 5. 2 and 6 takes the 6 out from there. 7's removed from that. And so this is the only spot 7 goes. So where's 6 in this column? Well, it's not there, and it's not there, so it has to be one of those two, so that's not 2. 2, 9,
2, 8,
and...
9, 8.
But it can't be the 2, so that's 2. 4 and 9. 2 and 4.
1 and 3.
2, 8, 5. Well, this one's the 5. That's the 8. This is not 8. That's not 5, which we already knew.
The Nabner that goes from box 7 to box 8, since that 1 or the first cell up there in box 7, it has to be a 1 or 3. You can't have a 2 on there. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm. Six or 7? What are we missing?
Oh, maybe we need to look at the run band in box 2. If it's 7, because it's either 7, 8, or 8, 9 for the little one.
Yeah.
So if it's 7, 8,
That would be 5 and 7. 1, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 6. And that one's not a 2.
all right, since the bottom of column 4 has to be a 3 or a 4, then the top of that run band can't be a 3. So that would be a 7.
But then I'd end up with 2 1s.
Okay, so that doesn't work.
Right.
So that can't be 7, 8.
One of the things I should have noticed is that this can't be a 1
Oh,
because it would
right,
rule out both of
because
those. So that's
right.
automatically a 3 and a 1 and a 1 there. And
That
that's a
can't be
5,
4.
7 pair. 3 and 2. So that's a 4.
5,
That's a
7 in
2.
column 4 also. 5, 7 pair in column 4.
Right. And then that takes off the 7.
Which places
6,
the
2.
7 next to the 4 in row 1.
7, 6, 5, 6. 6s. These two can't.
Yeah, that
7, so
1
that's a
was
5.
so obvious.
7, 4, 6, 9, 7, 9, 7, 8, 9, 8, 4, 8, 6, 9, 7, 5, 9, 7, 9, and 8. Here we go. Yeah, it just took us
Yeah,
a long time to see
that 1.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there were a few different times where we did sort of the either or logic.
Right.
Which I think it was possible we could have avoided other than here. Because we needed that either or logic to get through this part. But I wonder if we could have done without it in a few other places, but it doesn't matter. We solved the puzzle, and that's what matters. So, Lone Hut. Accidentally put a period at the end there. Delete. There it is. Row 8 and column 5. Row 6, 9, 3.
Oh, I guess I could look at it.
2,
Since
4.
I don't know, because when you flip back and forth, it flips back and forth on there too.
Yeah. Column 5. 7, 2, 3. 8, 6, 4. 9, 1, 5. And congratulations. So that was. I think I'm going to go with hard on that one. Because I think the Nabners are kind of tricky. Outside of Yeah, outside of just like this one piece of logic that we just missed for a long time, and
Right.
a few other places where we missed logic, like this Renban, which did some stuff here.
Yeah, the 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. And there was probably logic that we could have done to avoid doing the either or in a few different places. Because, like, the 7 either or here that we did, we ended up finding
Right.
another way of doing it. Um, I don't know, maybe it wasn't possible without doing it. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm just gonna say that that was very nice but hard. And submit. And we've got 20 minutes left. So do we want to start this one, or because it might be a short puzzle, or do we want to hit the
Sure.
stop button? Short to start it.
Might as well.
Okay, so this one is Butterfly by Aranlide or Aspartacus. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits on an arrow sum to the digit in the arrow. Excuse me. Digits on an arrow sum to the digit in the circle of that arrow. Alright. This one, 6, 7, 8, or 9. This one, that one, that one. All of those are 6, 7, 8, or 9. Because if I were to do 1, 2, and 3 like that, that means minimum of 6. Same there, and there, and there. These three, or excuse me, this grouping is the same sum as those two. So the minimum of these two is 15. So that would be 6, 7, 8, or 9. And I guess the same thing is going on here, where those two had to be 6, 7, 8, or 9. Well, okay. If we look at this and this, it cannot be 15. Hold on, let me make the vertical a different color. Blue and red cannot both be 15.
Right.
So I mean, I guess that rules 6 out of the bottom left corner. Because if it was 6, then the minimum you could make is pairing with a 9 for 15. They also can't both be 16. But you could do 15 and 16. If I did a 7 here. But the maximum they can be is 17. Oh, and I guess they have to be different. So they're either 15 and 16 or they're 16 and 17. I guess they could be 15 and 17. But I know that 1, 2, and 3 is going to be used in both the column and row. But this could still be 5. Because the smaller of the two is either 15, which is 1 through 5, or 16, which is 1 through 4 plus 6. So I have to use a 4. So that makes the middle 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. And
That's the minimum 5. Because the tip of the top arrow sees both arrow parts of the bottom one.
right.
So it can't be 3 or 4.
So that takes 5, 6, and 7 out of the rest of it.
Right.
And this has to be a minimum of 3. This has to be a minimum of 3.
And 1, 2, and 3 has to be in red, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
7 comes out.
So the circle in box 9, the tip of the arrow that's up there next to the red, can't be 1, 2, or 3. So it can't be 6 in the circle.
Right. And blue also
And the
has to
same
use
with
1,
the
2.
blue, which takes the 6 out of that.
And that's going to make these both 1, 2, and 3, isn't it? Because if this is a 4, I can't also grab another of 4, 5, or 6.
Right.
This is a 7, then this would have to be 8 and 9. But if this is an 8, then I would get 7 and 9. But a 9 could pair with 6 and 8. Or 7 and 8. Or 6 and 7. Can I avoid 9, though? 7 was 8 and 9. 8 was 7 and 9. And then 9. Yeah, because 6 only pairs with a 9. And I can't put that 6 here. And so if 6 was in either of those positions, it would have to be a 9. And they can't all be 7 and 8. So 9 is out of here. Where's 9 in this column? It has to go here. Because we just ruled it out of the middle and everything else is on an
Correct.
arrow. And the same thing is true in the in row 5. So then 9's going to end up in here. But it could be one of those two. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Either both of these are 8, or neither of them is 8. But if they're both 8...
They can't both be 8. Then those would both be 9 in the circle. So
Oh, well, that automatically makes this 5. And one of these is going to be 1, 2, 3. One of these two has to be 6, so this has to be
right.
9.
So one is 1, 2, 3. The other's 1, 2, 4. So 5 and 6 come out of red and blue. And there's a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad in both red and blue. And for the 9 circle in box 5, the 1 comes off of the arrow.
9 circle box 5. This
Yeah.
can't... Oh, neither of those can be a 1.
Neither one can be 1.
These both have 1 and 2 in them. So 2 and 7 come out. Oh, right, because they're 15 and 16.
Right. So there's a 3, 4 pair. So now the red and blue in box 5. One's 3, 4, and the other set is 2, 1, 2. Box 5. The other red and blue.
Oh, right.
1, 2. Yeah.
Five, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. Can't put 3 or 4. So those are 8 and 9. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, the 8, 9 in boxes 1 and 9. Since the tip of the arrows are 5 or 6. Oh, I guess it could be 1, 3, 5 for 9. Never mind. But it has to have 1.
You know, this one and that one is the same. So this one and that one are the same. But we do know that these are going to be different because whichever one is 16, or more easily, whichever one has a 6 here is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Right.
So that's going to be 6, 1, 2, and 9. But these are going to both be 1, 2. Because the 6 is going to be 1, 2. And let's say that was 6. So that's going to be 1, 2, and 9. Then this 6 makes that a 5, a 4, a 3, a 6, makes that a 5, which is going to be 1, 2, and this has to be 8 because that's 9. Because 9 makes 8, makes 9, makes 8. So 1 and 2. Three, 4, 5, 6, 5, and 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, and 4. The 8 is going to have to be 3, 5. So one of those two is a 3. Okay, this one's green, that one's purple, that one's purple, so this one has to be green. Purple makes that one green and that one purple. One of these has to be 1 and 2, because they can't both be 3 and 4, because that would be
Right.
7.
And
So
it
that
would
would
be
be the purple, green, purple, green. So then my purple 1, 2 is here, and the green 1, 2 is here.
You can get the purple 1, 2 in box 7.
Not there, not there, not there, not there. 2, and that should mirror there, 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 not there. Green, 1, 2. Can we get it up here? Green, green. Not quite.
Well, what about in box 9?
The purple 1, 2. Has to be one of those
It's going to
two.
be one of those two.
And then the green 1, 2 will be over here in box 1. Well, we know that this isn't 1 or 2, and that's not 1 or 2. So the 3 and 4 comes off. If this was 1 or 2, it would have
It
to
would
be the
be
green 1 or
green.
2. Six or 7 or 8. So we don't know. And if that was 1 or 2, then that would be 3, 4, 5, 6. And that would be 3, 4, 5, 6. And if that was 8, then the 4s would come off, and you'd have a 3, 5 pair, making that 4. That would be a 5, so 3, 5, 3, 5, 4. If I make this the purple 5, 6, and this the green 5, 6, because then this is the purple 5, 6. This one's the green 5, 6. But I guess I'm not sure about conclusions I can make with that, so maybe not.
Right.
This cannot be 1 or 2. So this cannot be 5 or 6. And actually, we know that 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's not 3 or 4. So 5 and 3 is 8. So this is actually the purple 1, 2, which makes that the green 1, 2, purple 1, 2. And so now this isn't the green 1, 2, and this is. So you're not purple 1, 2, and you are. You can't be 3. You can't be 6. Green 1, 2. 6, 7, 8. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7. That's all of our 1s and 2s. Three, 4 takes 3 and 6 out. So I know this cannot be 3 or 5. So what can it be? 1, 2, 8, 9, 3, 5, and 7 are all out. It's 4 or 6. One, 2, 8, 9, and 7. If this was 6, we would get 5 in both of those. And that would be 3 and 4 in different values. What can this be? 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we know about the 3 4s? Because this one would be green and purple. Green, purple, green, purple. Well, that's 5. Green, purple, purple, green. 6, 7, 8, 9, not 7 or 9. I'm going to make this the purple 5, 6, and that the green 5, 6. Because then this ends up being the green 5, 6, purple 5, 6, this one's purple, I know these are different. So either these are the same, or this would be green and purple. Because I know that those two are different. I mean, if they're the same, they're both 5. But I know that these are 3 and 4. And the 4 has to pair with the 5, and the 3 has to pair with the 5. So because I know that these two are different, and these two are different, or more accurately, I know that this 3-4 and is different from that 3-4, and so that makes this a 6. So that makes that a 5, and that a 5, and takes out 5 and 6. And this becomes a green 3-4, and a purple 3-4, and that 5 is out. Green 3-4 is one of those two. One of those. Where can I put the green 3-4? I don't know. This is either 6 or 8. So the green 3-4 has to be over here. One and 2, 3 and 4, 5. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, but it's not 5 or 9. So this ends up being a 6. 1 and 2, 9. 5 and 4, 3. 2, 1, 1. 4, 1. 2, 3. 4, 1, 2. 7, 6, 1, 2, 3. 3, 6, 2, 1, 8, 9, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 6, 5, 4, 8. That's an 8, that's a 7, that's a 9, that's broken. Mess something up. Oh, that's a 5. 8. Neither of those are 8. But that being a 5 makes this a 3, a 4, 4, a 9, 3, 8, 9, 2, 6, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 2, 7, 2, 6, 1, 4, 8, 2, 1. Neither of those is 6, that's not an 8. That's an 8, that's 9, 2, 3, 5. 1, 6, 1, 1, 2. That's a 6, that's a 5, that's a 7. 8. 1, 2, 1, 2. Not a 7. Okay, and I should be able to get rid of the coloring. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or no, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. None of those is 9, so that is 7 and 9 there. That's a 3. Neither of those is 6, 7, 9. That's a 7. 6, 7, and 9. 4 and 5. That's true. 3, 6, and 8. 8, 6, 3. This is an 8. Somehow I guessed that right. 4. Got that one first try as well. The bottom is 6. This is 7. I don't see a 3. And I don't see a 5. 4 and... I was about to say 2, but that's wrong. 4 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 3, 5, 6, 7. Here we go. Only 16 minutes overtime.
It's not too bad.
Butterfly. Oh no.
Oh no.
There's too many puzzles that have
Lots
the
of
name
others.
Butterfly.
Well, there's a butterfly arrow Sudoku. 5.
Oh, and it's by a Spartacus. Yeah. So there's a butterfly outline version. That's the clean version that we solved. I guess there was a filled-in version. Anyway, solution code giveth row 9 from left to right. 517 392 864. Very nice. Average? Maybe hard. There's a lot of mathematics in this one, and there was a lot of shortcuts that I knew from doing these types of puzzles before. Looking out for this row of 5, that row of 5.
Right.
Some of the highlighting that I did was stuff that I knew to do already. The 6, 7s, and 8s and such. But yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna go with hard because while we got through it fairly quickly, it was there's just a lot of mathematics involved, and the painting had to be done really carefully. But yeah, I don't know. Either way, really nice puzzle. And that is going to be it for today. Anything you want to talk about before we sign off, Mama?
I don't think so.
All right. So, anyone who has watched this far, thank you so much. Make sure you have liked, commented, subscribed, rung the notification bell, and shared the video. We will be back with more Sudoku on Monday and Tuesday of next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you are interested in a game called Outward, I will be playing that at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. So I think that is all of the things. So, yeah. All right, I've hit all of the things. Thank you so much for watching once again, and have a wonderful day.